Hello, my name is Chelsea Carter and I'm a fashion designer based in the city of Chicago. And today we are going to be making some masks. With everything that's going on around us, the pandemic that our entire nation is under, I thought it would be beneficial for everyone watching at home, as well as for me, using my experience to show you all how to make a mask using what you have at home. So the materials that are going to be required for this project are going to be 100% cloth material to make the outer layer of the mask. You can also use a t-shirt, an old t-shirt that you don't mind cutting into. A bandana would also suffice. An old pillowcase, an old sheet, whatever is 100% cotton that you don't mind using for this. And you're also going to need some pins. Here's my tomato. You can also use paper clips. You can also use your potato chip holders, or anything that keeps your bag fresh. Paper clips, potato chip clamps, pins, safety pins, whatever is at home that you have. You're also going to need an indicator to mark your measurements. So I have a pin here, but you can also use a pencil, which is here. I also have tailor's chalk because I sew. So for those of you that sew at home, you can also use tailor's chalk, just whatever you have available that can mark your points. Ruler, your sewing machine, or a hand needle and thread. I also have a seam ripper for those of us that make mistakes. I know none of you will, though, because I know I have some veterans here. But for those of you that are a little inexperienced, or just maybe are still troubleshooting, getting a seam ripper or a pair of scissors to kind of clip out anything that you may have made a mistake on, you can also grab that. For the filters, a lot of materials in general to make these masks are becoming much more unavailable because everyone needs them, especially those that are in need, that have been testing positive, as well as our healthcare workers. So I'm just using a reusable bag. Chicago is a city where, you have to pay for bags. So a lot of us just have a lot of these just hanging out at home, which can be used for filters. It's that pebbly material. So if you are concerned about which one is going to be the best one, it's going to be the one that has those little dots on it. Okay? And we are ready to go. So, and you're also going to have to get either your material at 18 inches long and 1 inch wide. You're going to need 4 straps of that. You can also use shoelaces, which is what I'm going to use today. Flat or round would work, or just any long string that you can tie off. It doesn't, have to be a shoelace, but that is what I'm going to be using today. So our measurements to start are going to be 16 by 8 inches, 16 inches long and 8 inches wide. So you're going to take your ruler and your pencil, and you're going to indicate your 16 by 8 inch rectangle. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So I'm going to square off a 90-degree angle to start. And I'm going to measure up 18 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to measure 8 inches across. Once that is done, it should look a little something like this. Okay. And I have already pre-cut my African material in our specified measurement. So I am going to use this and not the cloth, because it's fun. So once that has been cut out, I am going to put my right sides together. And as you can see, like, the cotton doesn't have a right or wrong side, but this one does. The print is more visible than it is on this side. So this is my right side. I'm going to marry my right sides like so. And we know that this is 8 inches wide, but we are going to leave a 2-inch opening in this. So how you're going to do that is at the halfway point, which I've already indicated, which is at the 4-inch mark. I'm going to measure 1 inch over from there, mark it. I just clipped it with scissors. and I'm gonna measure an inch over from that and clip it with scissors. So now I have a 2-inch opening that I have already indicated in this. And I am going to sew from this point over and from this point over, leaving my 2-inch hole open. So now that those are sewn together, leaving our 2-inch hole open here, right? This is sewn. We're going to place this down like so, putting that line that we just sewed together with the hole in the middle, right in the middle of this, okay? And I am going to go ahead and iron it. So now that that's pressed, I am going to take my strips, I have 4, cut at 18 inches long. And 18 inches is a little long, but like, if you find that it's a little too long, then you can always trim them later, but it's always better to have them be too long than not long enough. So that's why I cut them at this measurement. So I'm going to take the first one. I'm going to place it inside of our pouch, and I'm going to take it right at the tip of this. As you can see, it's right there. I'm going to pin it right there, or clip it, or whatever you have to hold your pieces in place. Use that, and it will be fine. You also want to make sure that you're leaving your straps on the inside of this, on the inside of your pouch and the mask that you're making. Leave all of your straps inside. As you're pinning, make sure that you pin not in the same direction that you will be sewing in. So your pin should always be perpendicular to the line that you will be sewing. So we're gonna be sewing down this line here. So my pins are going this way. I'm gonna do the other side. Again, I'm keeping all of my straps inside. So you really shouldn't see the strap at all as you're doing this. And for those of you that don't have access to a machine, don't fret. You can do this by thread and needle. It might take a little bit longer, but it's still worth the time that you put into it. Also, make sure that if you are doing it with needle and thread, make sure you're doing it a couple of times, because you just want to make sure that it's super secure. Last string. And I'm going to sew there, and I'm going to sew here. I'll be right back. Make sure that as you're sewing, your strings stay on the inside, and you also do not sew on top of them, just the part that you want at the edge. We're sewing everything at 1/2 of an inch. And you want to secure that stitch a few times. I do it like 3 or 4 and down. Again, I'm making sure I'm not sewing on top of my straps other than where I pinned at the corners, because you're going to need the access of your strings to tie it off in the back. So it's very important that you keep just the tips sewn and not any of the rest of them, and that they do stay on the inside. Again, I'm putting all of those inside. I don't want them to come out. All right, so we have sewn our strips on the inside of our pouch here. Using that hole that we left open, we're gonna go in and flip it inside out. If you have wider hands and this is not big enough, you are more than welcome to leave a 3-inch hole or make it a little wider for yourself, or even open it a little bit if you need to. But this is big enough for me. So I'm gonna flip this inside out. So you can pull your strings if it helps you pull it out. I'm gonna go ahead and iron this again. Okay, I ironed it and we are ready to go. So this is the back where our hole is, and then this is the front, okay? The side that we sewed together is going to be the jawline. The side that was folded already and we did not need to sew together on opposite ends, this side and this side, are going to be above the nose and under the chin. So you're going to place it down with your hole, this is the hole line right here, going horizontally, okay? So then you're going to indicate your pleats along the left and right sides. Those marks are going to be noted as follows. Your first one will be at 1 inch from the bottom up. Okay? You have to use a color that you can see. If your fabric is printed or colorful in any way, you're gonna wanna make sure that you can indicate where it is, okay? So from the first one will be 1 inch, the second one will be another inch. Then the third one will be 3/4 of an inch. Fourth, 1.5 inches from that point. The next one will be 1/2 inch. And the last one will be 1.5 inches. So now I'm gonna do it on the other side. Mirror everything I did on the left to the right. All right, so as you can see, our marks are on this side here, okay? And they're on the other side. So now what I'm gonna do is make sure my pins are close by, and I'm going to take the first 1 inch mark and take it to the next one. And pin it in place. The next one, I will pin it in place. You're just taking it from one mark to the next. So we have that, all of our pleats. So now what I'm gonna do is sew along this side as well as this side. And as you sew, you always wanna make sure that you're going down, the presser foot is going down the stairs of the pleats. So you wanna just make sure that you're not going against the pleat. and making it go like this. So you want to make sure that you're going down. All right. So now that we've sewn that together, I'm going to remove my pins. Like that. And our mask is done. So you know that it's the right side is the side that doesn't have the hole in it. This is open for you to slide your filter in there or not. You can also just hand sew this back up or not. Just make sure that you only have the front part of it, not the back. You can take that hole and hand tack it together, or you can machine it just how you would a throw pillow in your living room. Okay, so our mask is done. I'm gonna put this on and show you the way that it looks. So, job well done. I know you're gonna kill it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Again, we just wanted to do this one because these masks can be made at home. And I really want to put emphasis on staying safe and just making sure that you're protected when you are leaving the house for the necessities needed for you and your household. Here are some just readily available. You probably weren't even thinking that you had everything you needed to make this possible for yourself. So again, if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. And thank you for watching.